Hey, it's the Rock Salt MUZKAST Experience. Just Aaron today on this interview, and I got a special guest, Brian from Deadsin, like
What's
this.
up,
So
guys?
yeah, we don't have that studio audience. I don't have that magic board
Are you
to
sure
play,
they
but
probably heard it was me and they just left? So that's all good. We're
oh
the band that
man,
nobody likes.
yeah. But you guys just released a new song a few weeks ago
Hmm.
called Trust. And I was
Yes.
telling you earlier that it's my favorite Deadsin song. I really like it a lot. So
Nice.
now, did you write that solo, or did you have the team put it together?
Let's see. I got to think back because I think I wrote this a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Wow.
I think
Okay.
it's mostly me. I think it is. I think I know the choruses and the verses are mostly me. And then I think
Okay.
Cameron, our guitar player, tweaked a couple of the verse stuff to make it sound heavier and more
Okay.
Gojira. And then yeah, so the main sections and stuff were that, and then Cam also did the breakdown, which is one of our few breakdowns that we've done. So yeah, it was kind of a me Cam combination, but Keegan, our former drummer, threw in a lot of stuff too. Yes.
Okay. Like who did the? I love the background vocals a little bit.
Oh yeah,
I
that's
think.
Philip. That's Philip. He was our
Okay.
rhythm player, and he helped out with the vocals on that song and Vapor as well. And yeah, he does. He's a really good singer. He's been in bands where he was the front man guitar player too. So he really nailed those parts. And I'm a big fan of. Always have been, of bands that harmonize a lot, that have multiple singers in the band, that going back to even the old school stuff to like modern, not modern day, but like King's X to um Alice in Chains, where you have two main guys that do a lot of the harmony stuff. But yeah, he was great. And unfortunately he had to he stepped aside too, along with Keegan. But we're gonna keep rolling along, and we're not gonna change the style too much when it comes to harmonies and doing some splitting vocals or whatever else. That's our goal.
So what's behind the song Trust? I mean, tell us a little bit about the meaning behind the song.
Yeah, it's basically just a statement of faith. Of the main hook of the song is, I don't care if tomorrow comes, or I don't know what tomorrow holds. I'm just going to trust in the Lord, which is what we should be doing as believers. And it's a little bit of a statement during the verses, talking about the world that I see around us. Over the last, I'd say, 10 years or so, there's this they call it the deconstruction movement, where people who used to be, quote, Christians and stated faith from the music scene to podcasters and stuff have come out and now have deconstructed their faith, and now are either atheist or don't believe in that our God from the Bible. So that was a line. I talk about the Pharisees. I talk about fake messiahs. I talk about just the world around us in turmoil, the humanistic movement that's going on, from the Marxism to socialism to the whole thing. It's all anti-God. So that's the statement. That's the world we're living in right now. And no matter what happens, I'm going to put my faith and trust in Jesus. And as Job, it says in Job that where there's a line, and I forgot the chapter and verse, but it talks about, though he slay me, I will trust him. Right. So even if God takes our lives as believers, who are we to say, why, what, he does it because he can, and he also does it because he loves us, and whatever his purposes are, we just bend the knee and trust in him. Right. So it's just all of that in one 4-minute song. It's quite a jammer too. I'm glad you liked it, because we actually, I guess I'll share this a little bit. We wanted Matt Baird from Spoken to kind of help out and do like a guest vocal spot,
Uh-huh.
but he wasn't against it, but he made some good points on using him for maybe a different song that didn't have a minute intro. So the song has a minute rocking, jamming heavy intro. And he's like, well, if you're trying to do this and get it out there into the radio world and stuff, you might want to get to the vocals quicker. And he's right. We just thought his vocals would have fit perfectly with this on this song. And so that was a little behind the scenes on that with Spoken and Matt there.
I see. It is a long intro, but I
It
imagine
is.
it's a concert favorite because
Yes.
you really get it jamming, and then you
Yeah.
get into the vocals, you know,
Right.
and I always love when bands, and again, when you see them in concert, sometimes they mix it up.
Hmm.
They don't like playing the same thing all the time, so you'll see them in concert add something to a song, not
Yeah.
lyrically but musically, and
Yes.
that one seems like this is how we're going to play it live, and we're just going to record it how we're going to play it live, you know, because I
You-
thought it was a long intro,
yeah.
but it was like by the time I got to the words, I was like, you know, my head was shaking, and I'm like, man, this is really good.
Yeah.
Um,
Thank you. I
yeah,
was going to say with if Dave was here at BNX Radio, he would have said, this guy, this song can't be on the radio, sir. It's too long, you know. But yeah, it's everything you said's true. We've already, you know, we like I said, we wrote this maybe 2 years ago. So we've been playing
okay.
it live at some of our shows. And like you said, it's a very good, energetic, get the crowd kind of bobbing their heads and moving around song. And that's what we kind of wrote it for. So it's not necessarily your perfect format radio single, you know. So, but we wanted to release it. You know, we recorded some songs last summer, and we were like, let's just go in and drop this and get it out there, you know, and let it go. Yeah, it's not your normal radio, like I said, formatted single. So hey, we like to, you know, go against the rules. You know, we like to be a little rebel.
Well, I just saw Skillet, and they got that song, you know, Feel Invincible,
Hmm.
and what they do is they'll start playing that and just keep it going. Sometimes it's got like that opening that, you know, you could just go like, you know, he'll go invincible and have the crowd
Hmm.
shout back, but
Oh
he'll
yeah, yeah,
he'll keep that going
yeah.
for a little while more than the recorded version, just to get the crowd all jacked up when they come out, you know, because
Right.
it's got that, like that song, Trust. It's got that great, just, you know, just grinding song, you know, hard edge to it, that gets the crowd going.
Hmm.
So, you guys are still going to Chains Unchained?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. We've been getting ready. We've been rehearsing. We don't have a full-time drummer, you know,
Okay.
but uh, I'm not
Who's
going to
going to
announce it.
Chains Unchained? Who, you know,
Oh,
who's
that's a
going? You,
surprise.
huh?
I
Oh,
can't. I
okay.
can't. Are you talking about the bands, or are you talking about
Yeah, the band, the band.
the other bands? You got Convictions headline in it. You got Relent. You've got Bread for War. Igniscent. I'm probably pronouncing that band's name wrong.
That's about right.
Monarchs to Oblivion. Uh, 12, 12 Spies. Um, and Stonewall Static, of course.
Yeah.
Those are our buddies down in San Antonio. And I'm missing a couple. Sorry if you're watching, guys.
It's okay.
But I haven't
No,
looked
no,
at it. But yeah, as for us, we've got a fill-in drummer
okay.
who's in a band that I just mentioned, but I'm not gonna. You'll have to be
Okay.
there to see who it is. And
All
then
right.
we've got a guitar player also who's jumping on, and we'll be making announcements at some point about the future and everything. So that's it,
Okay.
you know, on that side. But
Do
yeah,
we
we're
do we
playing. We're excited. We get like a 45-minute set. We right in the middle of Friday night. We're excited.
That's great. That's awesome. I'm going to a show in Ohio in August, and
Nice.
get to see Monarchs to Oblivion will be there, I do
Okay.
believe.
Yeah.
And then the Protest, Chaotic Resemblance, some bands you've played with and know.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Um,
know those
and so
guys.
I'm excited. Me and my wife are taking a trip to the Southeast, and
Okay.
we'll end up in Ohio. And
That's cool.
so, yeah, so
I
I'm
was
excited.
I was just there, man, like back in mid-April. I went through
Okay.
Tennessee, Kentucky, and Ohio and Pittsburgh. We
Did
we
you
went on a
play or just a
baseball,
vacation?
just a vacation, me and a buddy,
Okay.
and we went to a couple baseball games in Cincinnati and Pittsburgh, and then we did the Bourbon Trail and saw some of that kind of stuff. It was a really fun trip. I hadn't been to that area before in my life. It's beautiful country.
Well, that's great. And so, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I've never been to one of these shows with all the different bands and stuff like that. And of course, my rock salt mate, Patrick Rivers, 3 Days
Uh-huh.
Under is playing too. So
Oh,
so
cool, cool.
I'm looking forward to seeing him play live and some of the other bands. But I've seen Protest play live, but not
Mm,
these other bands. Weapons
okay,
of God's going to be there too,
okay, yeah.
and so that I'm looking forward to it. Uh, Hopefully in the near future, I'll be going to Change Unchained. I really want to see what that's like for 2 days and all that.
Mhm.
And I really like the guys for Bread for War. And, one of the first guests we had on was Caleb from Stonewall Static. And it's nice to see their full length album coming out. So,
Yes, yeah, yeah.
when's your next single? Do you have a single that you've talked about?
Yeah, I mean, it's ready to roll. It's just that when do we
Okay.
want to drop it, right? And we're actually this is the part like me and the Cameron keep debating about, and not
Yeah.
that one's on one side or the other. It's just we're trying to figure out how to do this to the best advantage. We put out Vapor, our last single, in February. We just put out Trust, like you said, about a week or so ago in the middle of June. So it's a good song. I feel it's just, we may want to track this other song that we've had too, and then maybe put out like a 4-song EP. And then we're going to kind of take just that part of Deadsin that, the previous members were all involved, and just say, here it is. Well, obviously we track a new song. It's me and Cam,
Yeah.
but like take that. We got one more song. I guess I can say this. We got one more song that's all of us, the previous incarnation. So eventually that's going to come out, and then we're going to just kind of say that's that chapter, and we're going to move to the next phase. And we're not going to change a lot, because you're still who we are, but we might I don't know, we'll just see. Because I mean, I've been writing a lot over the last few weeks, and Cam's got a couple really tasty riffs that's definitely heavier and more riffy than we've done. So I'm kind of pretty excited, honestly, about where we're going, and the musical direction that we're kind of going into. So it's still going to be us, but it just may be just a little bit different.
So like a Deadsin 2.0, would you call
Yeah,
it?
yeah,
Or
yeah. You know what I'm
okay.
saying? Because like when you lose, especially Keegan on drums, who was a key member up for us, and he's a producer, and tracked us and everything else. That's a big loss, and he was really great at like shaping songs, and like putting sections and saying, well, why don't we do this right here and stuff like that, through with his ears and his talents. So we're going to do a little bit different, but musically it might be a little bit heavier. Honestly, that's where I think we might be headed. So we might be a little bit more heavier stuff like Trust, and more just I don't know how to say it. We'll just see.
But that sounds great. And
Yeah, yeah.
so, that that you're going to keep going and everything.
Oh yeah,
And you seems like you have a pretty good fan base locally, and
yeah.
I'm sure they would be disappointed if Brian and the gang decided, to move on from Deadsin. But that's great.
Yeah.
So
Well, Lord, like I said, all this, Lord willing, for all the reasons that can, jobs, health, whatever else can come across that, we don't see. But if everything is still the same and God wants it to happen like this, we're going to keep going. And yeah, all like 15 of our hardcore fans,
yeah,
we would be sad if we stopped right now.
that's
Mainly
so true.
probably, but we'll just keep grinding away. And I'm just saying, guys, it's just probably gonna be a little bit of a different style, and from everything from some ballady slow stuff to like really heavier stuff that we haven't done before. So it's gonna be some it's just gonna be different, but it's still
And,
us. I'm just saying it's just different. I was like, you've been around long enough to know how some bands will have 2 or 3 albums that are kind of the same, and then they have either a membership, or they not even a member change, but they just say, hey, we're going to try something different, right? And you kind of do a little bit of a different style, and you can kind of hear as they evolve and change musical taste and influences come out, mature. I mean,
yeah,
I've been watching a lot of Van Halen stuff on Eddie and everything, and if you listen to David Lee Roth era, it was party, fun rock, good time stuff, kind of silly stuff. And then they got with Sammy, and Eddie wanted to try to do a little bit more writing with keyboards and talk about stuff. He was in his mid-30s. He was tired of partying all the time. It's like, let's
yes,
talk love. Let's talk about relations. Let's talk about things that I've grown and seen, right? So they matured a lot and kind of changed, and some people hated it, but that's what I'm saying. We're not going to go that drastically and hire Sammy Hagar and start playing keyboard. But yeah, anyway, that's what I'm kind of talking about. You evolve
Yeah.
within the band, and you go. I mean, so many people out there like Parkway Drive. They started here, and then they're here. Like Avenged Sevenfold. There, and now they put out this really eclectic musical circus of an album. Right, so bands are always changing and evolving. But anyway, I'll shut up.
No, I think Disciple would be the band. They started with that for Glory and Honor, or
Yeah,
that worship band,
yeah,
and the stuff they're doing did fit into Disciple. But
yeah.
if you saw them in concert, they had some kind of worship moments they were
Hmm.
doing in live, and so they go, let's put that out so fans can enjoy it. And they put out for Glory and Honor, I think it's called.
Yeah,
It's different, but it's still Kevin doing
yep,
vocals, and
yeah.
it gives another avenue so their fans can enjoy it.
That's
And
true.
every once in a while, they do while they're touring as Disciple, they'll do an acoustic set
Hmm.
of the worship stuff, which is great.
Yes.
Because I really
Yeah.
enjoy that album too.
I love those guys, and Josiah helped us out with our first EP,
Yes.
and he told us some things, and that's a good band to kind of talk about what I'm saying. He's like, they call it Disciple, the original Disciple, and they had the 1.0 Disciple, and now they're at the 2.0. You got the new members. It's still Kevin vocally, but they've obviously changed members over the last 20 years or so. And you can hear the different influences from Josiah and Andrew compared to Brad, their previous original guitar player, and the riffs they write. And, they're tuned much lower now. And it's just they've just molded and evolved into what, they want to do now. And I see, like with us, probably in that same direction, and just, not as good as Disciple, but just like,
Yeah.
hey, we're doing this, we did this we've released 7-8 songs now, and we're going to kind of do a little shift because members have changed, and I've probably changed a little bit of my writing and what I want to try to do, and Cam's going to take a heavier part, and as we add a new member in here and there, they're going to have their say. It's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Good. So they can find out more information about Deadsin at deadsinband.com.
Yeah, that's right. You can go in there and check out, we have a gift shop too. We can buy t-shirts and stuff like that. All the social medias out there. We appreciate if, you just give us a follow, like, and kept up with us. We hope to play more shows coming up, and we'll be making more announcements about this and that, new music, new members, probably all this other stuff, Lord willing. And, but yeah, thank you, Aaron, for having me on. I miss Dave,
Thank you. Yes.
because he would have jumped on that Van Halen stuff that I just talked about. We know
Oh,
he's an
yes,
old
you
head,
would.
so
Well, when you decide to release the next solo,
Mhm.
if it's around Real Series time or whatever, we'll chat
Yeah,
again. Because I
probably will
love
be.
talking about baseball,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah,
Dave's not a huge sports fan, but he definitely would have been talking about that Van Halen, Sammy
yeah.
Hagar, David Lee Roth kind of shift. So thank you for coming
Exactly.
on, and if you haven't heard the new single, you're going to hear it right now on Rock Salt, the
All
podcast.
right. Thank you, guys. God bless.
Yes, yes, and we'll be right back.